Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Joey this morning. How you doing? So, storm of the century, some people are saying. Went through Quesnel last night. A bunch of power outages through there this morning. That I was out west of town for a little bit. Couldn't find a great vantage point at about 7:30 last night with my friend. And I mean, I saw some cells out there, and they were not doing a whole lot at the time and just kind of staying stagnant out there, not moving much. And I was like, well, I'm not going to wait too long, or I'm not going to drive past Nazco looking for a thunderstorm. And then later on, I stop paying attention, the thing just explodes. And Josh Palmer and people are sending me messages, holy cow, are you seeing this? Like, this is so weird and unexpected. And it's like, you know what? Sometimes storms overperform. This one sure did. It had some very strong winds, had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lightning strikes last night in her. It's put power out all over Quesnel. There's still some power outages on the go there. So exciting stuff. Okay, back to today. Got another day, maybe 2 days of thunderstorms left before this sort of departs. We're going to have a quick look at it all. Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel. Hit like, share, subscribe. Let's go. There it is.
This is bad news. My God. Anything could happen. Get on!
Wow. I'll watch the video later. As you can see on the power outage map, big red dot there over the Quesnel area. I got a couple in the Prince George up the Highway 16 area. Lots of lightning storms. Lightning storms continue today. Hopefully we get these power outages back up on the go at a Quesnel. Epic. I think one thing that happened when that storm popped off so strong last night is it changed a little bit what I expect to see to happen today. It changed a little bit today. I thought we'd see a little bit stronger in this quadrant here, and I feel like, it kind of popped off big last night, then it came through here and rained hard early this morning. It's really cloudy today. It just feels like, maybe we'll get something still in the Caribou region here. I just feel like maybe the best that we had to go with is probably gone. This A area is the strongest chance there. Fort St. John, Fort Nelson, Dawson Creek there. Winds gusting 70, small hail, 25 mils of rain in those cells, right? In the B region there around Prince George, same thing. It's just lower risk of it coalescing, coming together. And category C there, area C, pretty much the same, but although I don't think the small hail forecast would be even smaller, if any at all. So that's what we're looking at today on that. On the prairie side right now, way bigger improvement there. Prairie's pretty quiet right now. But hey, this is coming for you, prairies, so take note. Here's our 500 millibar animation. So this tells us where the jet stream basically is, somewhere in the 15 to 20,000 feet limit usually is where that a ribbon of air that distributes weather across the continent tends to be. So as you can see right now, it's a pretty weak jet stream for Western Canada coming up. Now it's strong over on the east side. That heat dome is going on there, record-breaking heat in Ontario and things like that. As you can see, fairly weak jet stream, and then I got a bit of a ridging here. We've got some weather coming in that's going to be warm. See that ridging? That is the warm spell, warm signal right there. Here we are on the north side of the jet stream. Start the animation back over. Keeping our conditions from getting too hot. I know people in friends of mine like Trevor there from Wildfire Service are asking me, where's the heat, Joey? I got lots of guys who've not even seen a fire yet on my cruise. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. But at least we got a spell of it next week, Monday. We're going to start into July-ish, by the time we get to the end of this month, seeing a bit of a heat spell. There it is. Boom. That high ridging of high pressure. There it goes, folks. Now, forgive me, this map's in Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I know it's kind of like weird alien language at this point. Where is the heat going to be? So as you can see, that heat dome has been going on over on the Ontario side, over on the East Coast side. Look at these values there. Everything up over 100 Fahrenheit on the East Coast. Extremely hot. Well, we've been having some nice afternoons here, but we've not been getting any meaningful, lengthy heat. We'll go look through the week here and look at the heat dome settling over the east there. It's been making all kinds of crazy weather. I mean, it's been hard to keep up with all the crazy weather across the continent that's been going on. You can see nice days, nice afternoons, seasonally nice. And then when we come in through the weekend, we're going to see, oh, look at this. That's a change by Sunday there. Seeing a big change there. Seeing some heat. More of that. The white there denotes that you're closer to 100 Fahrenheit, right? Which is well into the 30s. Boof. There you go. Monday next week. That looks nice. So we're going to wait a little bit for the real hot weather to come back. Will it stay around? That's a couple days. That's a couple more days. So I'm going to be making a fire weather forecast in the next few days because it seems like if we come into July on the GFS modeling, we're coming in hot. Okay, just looking at weather summaries from Environment Canada before we talk about thunderstorm pattern that we're in right now. Look at these record low temperatures that were set in Alberta here. This is pretty wild. Sunday night, Cochrane hit below zero, high level almost minus 3, Milk River 0.9, Red Earth Creek 1.2, 1.5 in Sundre. Record low temps. Figure that out. That's incredible stuff there. Okay, Ontario, remember we were talking about this the other day? They had a line of severe thunderstorms there on June 21st. It went through Bonfield, Calvin Township, up by Mattawa, including a shelter-in-place went on. There's tornado warnings. There's widespread downed trees. Flooding resulted in all municipal roads being closed. Samuel de Champlain Park was evacuated because of dangerous conditions. Mattawa Arena was opened as a shelter with military and other support being sent from Petawawa and Algonquin. 2 campers were struck by falling trees, with 1 person sustaining serious injuries. There were multiple other localized reports of property damage. This is all because of that heat dome. On the edge of that heat dome was all the insane thunderstorms. Okay, additionally, on the night of, across eastern Ontario, saw strong to severe thunderstorms with strong wind gusts knocking down trees, power lines, up to 70,000 homes and businesses without power, including 21,000 Ottawa Hydro customers. Looked like a severe, possibly tornado-warned storm was coming towards Perth at the time. It was crazy-looking stuff there. Rainfall amounts, Rufus Lake, 106, and then on down the line, as you can see. Okay, Ontario Fire Weather Station Network there says saw multiple daily maximum temperature records were going on during the heat event. So Burlington hit 35.3, and that's with 100% humidity, folks. It was feeling in some places like it was into the 40s. Goderich 31.7, Kingston, Ontario there 30.4, just nudging up there in Kitchener-Waterloo. Marathon just nudging up over New Tecumseh there 33.6, just less than a degree over their old record. Norfolk about 2 degrees above their old record, and on the line there lots of 30s, 34s, 35, but there was the extreme humidity, I think, that characterized this event that made it so insufferable to deal with. And then Quebec having wind gusts that Lyle grew 100-kilometer wind gusts there. Strong rainfall totals up and down the line in Quebec. That's more or less the skinny there. And then Saskatchewan also setting record low temperatures, almost 2 Celsius below on the other night, early morning hours of Monday, June 23rd. Just unbelievable. The spread, when you consider that we're having record temperatures set high side in Ontario, you just go a couple provinces over and they're setting record lows. But I'm going to make this short because I want to go to the bush today, so let's get on with the actual stories there. Thunderstorm threats today. Yeah, it looks like it may be popping up in the Caribbean Mountains. I just feel like the storm that went through last night may have kind of blown the load a little bit for my region. I was really expecting to see a little bit stronger developments than maybe is going to happen now. I could see a little bit severe up in the Fort Nelson area, like we're saying, in Fort St. John, that whole corridor. Some of those storms will be getting pretty strong. Grand Prairie side, looking at you, getting pretty strong. Southern BC, looking fairly good for you there, Kelowna area. I know there's some high Cape values that we're going to be seeing. Well, especially if we go and look here on HRDPS model and see where's our Cape values. You see there's in the Kelowna area, Vernon area, a little bit higher than you might expect, and very high up in the Peace area, convective available potential energy. So how much can the rapid expansion of the air, rising of the air go forth? Pretty high in this quadrant, pretty close to Wells here north of us there. Look at this, 1,500 joules per kilogram. That's pretty good explosive power. Are we going to see some severe thunderstorm watches in the Prince George and Caribou today? Not out of the question. I'm just not sure it's quite what I was hoping for today now on the dock. So, we got going to have thunderstorms in the region nonetheless. Did we maybe max out a little bit because of last night's epic event in the region? Yeah, that's possible. We'll have to see how much heat can come in here today and what that really does. And then we're really looking at just the 2 days of this event right now. And then we're going to see the weather pattern change. And that's why next time I make a forecast, we're going to be talking about fire weather. We're going to be talking about conditions in the province. We're going to be talking about where we're going with heat for the next little while. Yeah, so, maybe I'll get lucky in this quadrant. Maybe I'll get lucky in this quadrant today up along the edge of the Caribou Mountains. Still seems like a bit of a go. So that is where I'm going to head out today with my buddy here and try to see some nature and enjoy ourselves out there, and then maybe be in the right place for an epic thunderstorm. So don't expect too much forecast talk out of me from the day or posting if I'm out in the wilderness. You know the deal. Prince George area a year ago, showers with maybe embedded thunderstorms, likely in the Mackenzie up to the Omanika, Ossalinka, Messalinka areas, those areas, and then again the Peace looking pretty strong. If we go fast forward into Wednesday afternoon, up north Fort Nelson, yeah, better for 101. I guess that's more the 101 area. A little bit in southeastern British Columbia, mainly showers. I think through a lot of the Caribou, cooler conditions still remain in place, like, subtly below seasonal. That's fine. And then look, hey, bam, then we come out of our thunderstorm pattern as we come into the weekend. That all heads over to Saskatchewan. Severe. There'll be tornado stories and whatnot in here. Don't worry about that. There always is when this kind of stuff happens. Big low down there. And then our heat pattern that we're so hoping for, it's out there. I don't know if it's on ECMWF. We saw it in GFS earlier. Where is that heat pattern? Are we going to get the heat there coming into next week? That would be so epic. That's looking pretty good signal to start on Sunday. Monday afternoon, yeah, there you go. Spokane, Washington on 31, Williams Lake 23. So we'll see those numbers bump up in the coming days. Looks like we're by Canada Day, we're going to have some real deal heat into British Columbia. So that's nice. We haven't had much of that. I know people are asking, hey, okay, well, if it's summer now, how come it's snowing in the mountains? Where's summer? What's going on with that? Well, friends, I'm doing the best I can for you. I don't think that heat's going to stick around very long. That's the problem. Seems like we're in this sort of somewhat of a pattern where it gets hot for a couple days and the thunderstorms come and reset everything. And that's most likely what we're looking at next week when the heat comes here. But hey, let's hold our breath and hope for some prolonged, sustained, nice weather. Okay, at Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel, please hit like, share, subscribe. Last night's thunderstorm in Quesnel kind of surprised everybody. I mean, I was out there west of it looking at there was cells popping up but falling apart, and further back in was sort of an area that kind of stayed consistent, but it didn't really want to move. If a cell moved out of that area, it just kind of fell apart. So we were sitting there at Sylvia's for a minute looking, and I was just like, I don't know. How far am I going to drive? How long am I going to wait? And then it was like 4 hours later, those storms torched off, and then all hell broke loose, and everyone, all my storm experts are like, man, I didn't really see that intensity coming at this time of night. What's feeding it? Like, no one seemed to understand. So even I get surprised once in a while. Even Josh Palmer, even some of the really good storm chasers that we know, even the moderators of Weather Watchers get surprised. Where all of us were chatting last night, going, "Holy shit, where did this friggin' thing come from? How did it get so big?" It looked, the energy was there. It was building all day. I didn't really expect that severity at midnight in Quesnel. Absolutely unbelievable. So you never know. We're in that summer weather, and things have been pretty unstable. It's just, for me, we didn't have the heat yesterday to necessitate that kind of anger and a thunderstorm lasting into the night. So you never quite know, but we're doing our best. We told you it was going to be strong, except I told you it was going to be pretty strong like at 5 in the afternoon and not midnight. Even I get surprised once in a while, folks. Hit like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time, okay? Bye now.